Okay, what we're looking at is some of the wood that I'm going to use in my next project. I'm certainly not going to use all of it. I'm going to cut some strips off of each one of those boards and then use them. And it's going to take a while to do the job because it's going to be another glue up. So I have a piece of Jara, a piece of bloodwood, a piece of purple heart, Peruvian walnut, yellow heart, wingay, maple, and a piece of beech. That's going to be something I'll be working on for a little while. I just ripped those boards to about 1.5 inches tall. Alright, here's my stack of the wood that I'm going to use in this next turning. They're all cut 1.5 inches tall, and I'm going to resaw them now. And I've cut some the yellow heart, and right now it's about 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to start cutting some of this other stuff up. But what I'm going to end up with is about a 6-inch width. So I'll cut some strips and see where I'm at. And I won't use all of this, but I'll use it on another similar project. I'll cut one. I have cut all of the pieces of wood up into thinner strips, anywhere from around 1/8 of an inch. I have some that's about 5/16, some a little under 1/4. I have them arranged with a board in the middle, and then as they go out this way, this is a mirror image of this side. So I'm going to get ready to glue these together. Okay, I'm going to glue this stack together. It's probably the only one that I'll record, and we'll probably run this on fast play because this is going to take a little while. So I won't bore you with this. We'll come back when the rest of them are all glued up. I have 4 pieces that are just like this. They're about 6 by 6 and 1.5 inches thick. They're not glued together yet here because I'm going to lay out some circles on here and then bandsaw them away. I think it's going to be the easiest way to do it. And then I'll glue the rings together. I've laid out radiuses on them, but then I cut those sections out of it like this, just because it's an easy way to do it, and then I still will be able to glue this together like that, and this one. This is helping me to conserve some of this lumber. So I will go ahead and glue this together and this together, and then I'll start slicing these discs off. I've got one of the rings set up on my sled that I made for my bandsaw. It's adjustable in and out this way for thicknesses. I have a little stop I made here for it. I have it set for about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to make a cut and check it. If it's anywhere near that, that's what I'm going to go with. And in the past I've been able to saw these things with a real fine-tooth blade and no sanding necessary. I'm hoping I can do that here. So at this point in time I have set one of these up once it was glued together, and I've sliced it into pieces that are about 1/8 inch thick, just a little thicker than 1/8. Here's the beginning of my next Dizzy project. There's 3 rings glued together right now. This is just a block I have here for pressing it down nice and flat. It's in the glue press. All of these pieces here will end up being glued up. Right now I'll get this going and I'll glue a bottom on it and get it hooked up on the lathe and slowly start turning it, and then adding the pieces as I go so I can get the inside before it gets too deep. These are all just a little over an 1/8 inch thick, so as you see, it's going to take quite a while to glue it up. Well, I'll show you the progress that I'm making here with this little dizzy turning that I'm doing. There's my glue block. Here's my base, which is 3 rings with 18 segments in each ring. And now I have a couple inches of the vase itself on here. I just glued these 4 rings onto this section, and the next piece I'm going to glue on here is 4 more. I glue these up in groups of 4. Then I'll get it located here, get it glued to there, set it aside in my press for a while, and work on something else. I don't think I showed these pieces after they come off the bandsaw. With my sled that I made, it's fairly precise for a wooden sled. And this cut was done with a 14-tooth bandsaw blade, and I will not be sanding these things as I glue them together. The most that I do to it is when it cuts through the last little bit, there is just a little burr on here, which I will take and sand that off. So I'm going to go ahead and this line right here is about where I'm needing on the inside, plus a little extra stock. I wouldn't want to take it right to the line. And I'm just going to take this away. Starting to look like something there. So I have this turned pretty close to what I'm looking for. All the way down. This is not exact. It's still might be a little heavy here, but I'm not going to anchor myself to this shape. I'm going to just blend it until it feels good. And when I have that, then I'll do the outside to a nice wall thickness. Next step is I have a set of, I think there's 7 rings here that I've glued together. Now let's locate that and glue it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Set it in the glue press, let it set till tomorrow. I'll see if I can show you what's going on now. I have 4 of these tabs, somewhat centered, hot glued to this piece. This piece I purposely turned around. That's another reason I turn that round, is because when I come over here and take the matching color, which is this dark piece here, and I lined it up evenly, all the rest of the pieces are lining up with the corresponding piece. But I want to get the stagger in it, and if you look, you can see you got the dark piece here and you got white there, and all of the colors, they don't have a stagger in them, and you can see kind of a little zigzag going on instead of just a zag. So what I do is I rotate it, and what I picked was the corner of this yellow heart. I wanted that to be on the corner of the yellow heart next to it. You know, you should be able to see the line that's developed from that. Okay, it's all in place. Clamp down, glue's oozing out. The joints are lined up. So far, so good. 1400 RPMs. Okay, that'll be good. This one is already round from the same operation I did the last time. Right now I'm going to get it set up for my steady rest. Alright, I have a line on here. I'm going to go ahead and blend it down to the joint underneath. base I'm making. It's about 6.5 inches tall, 6 3/4. I'm still thinking about putting a row of segments on the top. This is ready to come out of the glue press. It's been in there for about 20 hours, I guess. I've got the last group of 7 rings glued onto this base. I'm going to go ahead and turn the inside and blend it in with the rest of the turning that I have, which is nearly complete. And I think I'm going to go ahead and make a segmented ring for the top. So I'll go ahead and do this, and we'll come back and we'll be about ready to start turning the outside. I do have it back in my steady rest here. Here's my segmented ring that I'm putting on top of this. There's 18 segments. It's made from Jataba. Now I'm going to blend it to the inside. I'll get it set up. Then I'll be able to turn the outside. I'll move the steady rest out of the way and we'll turn that, and I'll show you how I'm going to support it when I get there. So this is how I'm going to support this now to turn the outside. The way it is now, it would be very difficult to turn this. It's sticking out a long ways. It's going to be thin. I wouldn't trust it. So I have a tailstock arbor here. It has a ball bearing on it. It has a 1x8 thread. I'll put it in here and it'll find the center. And it'll be supported out here. And it'll be spinning on a ball bearing. So I'm going to run it up pretty close. Feels seated pretty good. Everything still runs good. Might put just a little bit more pressure on it, not much. So hopefully now this is going to allow me to turn around a 1/4 inch wall down throughout here. I have it right now at the beginning. So I'll have to back this off a lot and measure it as I go. Definitely hot sawdust coming off of there. Wow, I'm going to like this. I'm going to move the camera so you can watch the shape develop with that twist in it. Right now I'm just kind of rough the high spots off of there, which I know are there. And I'm going to sneak down here and try to get the dimension I need for the base. There, I moved over there. You see where I'm working? Okay, I've got a really nice wall. I've got one little area right there that's a little bit thick and it shows. So I'm going to mark that. I can get right down to here and take all that away and just make a nice blend, and I'll be in good shape. Alright, I'm going to sand this up. Okay, I sanded it to 320, and I've thinned down some brushing lacquer, and I'm gonna coat this real good, let the grain raise, and then I'll sand it again starting at 320 and go up to 500. I sure like the colors. Okay, be back later. Alright, time to put some sanding sealer on the outside. Okay, I'm going to let this set and dry, and I'll sand it out, and then I'm going to proceed to put as many as probably 6 or more sprayed coats on here. You don't get a lot when you spray it. And I will be back when this is done. Well, I've got multiple coats of lacquer sprayed onto this turning. So I used my abrasive paste just a moment ago, and it turned out looking nice, but now I'm putting a polishing paste on it that I made. And it's slightly different than the abrasive paste. It doesn't have the diatomaceous earth. If anyone's interested, I could make a short video showing you how to make that. But first, let's see how it works. So I'm going to put it on the same way. Alright, I've sped it up about 760, and I'm just going over it lightly. I'm trying to remove the film of wax. I don't want to leave a film on there. And hopefully I leave a nice hard wax finish that gives it a really deep shine. It's kind of looking that way. Getting a nice reflection. Alright, I'll rotate it here and see if you can see that grain. It's this piece right here, that's that bloodwood. It's one of those things when you hold it in your hand you see so much. Even this walnut there, it's beautiful stuff. Well, I'm going to call this done. I'm going to take it out, and I'll be able to show it to you a little better. I'll put that down and I'll get set up and show it to you. Well, here it is. It's about 7 inches tall, and it's 5.5 across the top and about 3 1/4 on the base. I have I think 7 different woods in here. I have bloodwood, purple heart, yellow heart, jarrah, Peruvian walnut, maple, and beech. The base is what's made out of the jarrah and the top rim. Definitely a lot of work. Here's the inside. I'll get you what I think is a very interesting view. So I hope you enjoyed watching the process of me constructing this and turning it. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And a special thanks to all my subscribers. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to my channel and you feel so inclined, please consider subscribing. Thanks again, and until the next time, see you later.